Anyway, we have 650 against the enemy's 946. You can see here that there's only one option, and that is to charge. Hello Reformers, and welcome to Paradigm Worlds. A new version has been released. I made a special feature on it, and a lot of you wanted to see more of it, and so I bring you this small mini-series kind of thing. I don't exactly know how far it's gonna go, but I'm gonna be straight up and just say that it's gonna be a mini-series of some kind, maybe 5-10 episodes, I don't know, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna start a new game here. We're gonna take this into a bit of an interesting direction, because obviously in this mod it's just insane. It has so many different things that you can do, and you can play as anything you want. I'm thinking we might play as a vampire this time around. However, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to begin from zero, and we're gonna see how we do in terms of progression, which factions become dominant in the area, and so on and so forth. And I believe the mod developer actually did give me a couple of tips about what is actually going on in Paradigm Worlds, because it does have a bit of a subplot. Surprisingly enough. I mean, you'd think, you know, all this stuff just chucked into the same universe, you'd think it's going to be extremely messy and it doesn't really have any direction whatsoever, but it does. There are numerous kind of minor, weaker factions, and then there is one large faction that is vying for control of the entire area and wants to crush every other faction. So that big faction, that is the one that is primarily going to be the one to beat, so to speak, if you are wanting to, you know, fight them. We could, of course, be on their side, and we could crush the weak, you know, the weak factions if we wanted to. But I think for the moment we're just going to play as a vampire here, and a vampire assassin sounds pretty good. Let's just continue with that. And what are we going to do here? You spend your early life as, well, I guess a hangman's apprentice, that kind of, or a spy. A spy at a nobleman's court seems pretty good. Let's do it. And then we became, yes, I'm not entirely sure, really. A fake magic artifact seller? It doesn't really... yeah, let's do that, why not? Okay, we became an acolyte of the Crimson Brothers. The Crimson Brothers actually seems like something vampiric, whatever you want to say. But to become an acolyte, you were given an octopus to eat, and as an animal lover, you refused. Although you didn't manage to end your training, you still have some contacts in the Crimson Brothers Order. You acquired one more item, the Legendary Order License. This item could be very useful when you decide to establish your own order. As a memento of your experience in the Order, you kept a Crimson Shark Throwing War Trident. A very good throwing weapon. Okay, well, you know me, I'm absolutely awful with throwing weapons, so let's take a look at the Fallen Legion instead. Oh, okay, so it doesn't actually give anything else. Oh, no. As a memento, you inherited a vampire sword. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. So the Fallen Legion. Alright, so, a lot of people. But as a lone wolf, you never made friends with anyone. We're gonna go straight up here. We're not gonna get best bodyguards or anything like that. We're gonna go solo, and we're gonna start from zero, as you can see right here. The worst inventory, but good character abilities bonus. Alright. Let's do it. Okay, so this is going to be interesting. Whoa, okay. Yeah, we got some good skills. We got some good skills to pay the bills, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be using here. Seems like one-handed weapons are probably the thing that we're going to be favoring for the most part. And we have a huge amount of agility, which is great to see, because that's obviously going to make us very fast on the battlefield itself. And what we're going to do is we're just going to level up our strength and agility here. I do already have 3 in leadership, which is pretty fantastic. Otherwise, I'm just going to go for some power strike here. I want to make sure that power strike is really, really buffed up as much as possible, and I'm actually going to improve my athletics as well. I'm going pretty hard on the combat skills here, because I think that maybe we'll be able to get some companions that will be able to do the rest for us. In other words, pathfinding, spotting, and well, everything else basically, like medic skills, engineering, and so on and so forth. So let's enter a name, shall we? Oh dear. What about Bear-Tilled Bloodthirsty? Because he is technically kind of a vampire sort of thing. So let's do Bear-Tilled Bloodthirsty. That sounds good to me. Oh yes, I'm very imaginative. Oh, look at this. So they've gone with the Nosferatu way of demonstrating the vampires. That's pretty crazy. Whoa. Okay. We've got some amazing designs here. Suffice it to say, you know, I'd like something that is actually kind of decent looking. Oh, what about that? Okay. Huge eyes. Big eyes. And we'll go with that. Why not? Okay, so let's have a look here. Where do we want to go to? Because we probably want to go in Necrolands, don't we? Alright, let's continue. Okay, so we're going to start off completely by ourselves. So this is going to be interesting, because I've never really started off in Paradigm Worlds by myself ever before, even in both special features, because in general, obviously in a special feature, I want to show off as much as I can. And this is, wow, there's a huge amount of graffiti and all kinds of symbols everywhere. And yeah, I'm interested to do this because, well, it's 100 dinars. That's pretty good. Okay, so what do we have here? Doomsday Cultists. These guys are from the Necrocore Syndicate, which, as I suspect, are the large faction that is going to be making war against the smaller factions. As you can see here, they have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, they have 4 towns, and it seems like these guys actually have quite a lot as well. And yeah, I should probably I'm not entirely sure which way around the map is supposed to go, so I guess I'm just gonna leave it as it is. And where am I now, by the way? I'm over here, yes. Okay, so let's go in here, and we'll see what we can do. Yes, I guess we'll just speak to the Guildmaster real quick. I was looking for a reliable man that can undertake an important mission. A group of bandits have kidnapped the daughter of a friend of mine. Oh, okay, yes, I will certainly do that. Thank you very much. 280 only. Okay. You are to meet the bandits near this place, which is very far away. Well, not that far, but I do need to be a bit careful here, because there's 58 Doomsday Cultists wanting to kill me. And you know what? Actually, we could become a bit of a freelancer here. It might make sense for us to do that. So let's move in to help CEO Nocturne. There we go. We're starting to make enemies already. And yeah, I'm actually going to be enlisting, I think. I think enlisting in his army would probably be a really good way to do it. Bear in mind, I am completely naked, basically. I have a very basic horse, basic shield. My sword is very nice. Let's be honest. My sword is very good and seems to be quite fast as well. I don't exactly know whether it will drain HP from our opponents, but it would be kind of cool to find that out as well. And it seems like I'm being a very good, shall we say, decoy. Yes, that's not great. I would prefer not to be a decoy right now, thank you. So let's see what is actually happening here. Oh, okay. Apparently there is a mind battle going on. There's a mind battle going on between many of the, wow, Necrocore Uber agents and operatives, and all kinds of insane units are attempting to win the battle with telepathy by the looks of things, or something like that. Let's see if I can do some damage to this guy. I'd like to be able to level up, please. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Okay, so there's level 3. Bear in mind, I have not modified the experience gain in any way, so if you see me get levels really, really fast, that's just because I have a decent enough sword to be able to kill some of these higher level units. Yeah, come on. I really wanted to kill that. I had a feeling that that guy was really, really high level. Oh, well, never mind. Yes, that's kind of annoying, isn't it? I really wanted to get that kill. Oh, well, never mind. I do actually have some throwing knives here, but these throwing knives are really gonna be very bad for me. I haven't checked the stats on them, so maybe it would turn out to be a little bit better than I think. But, yeah, I think this particular battle is over with. And we'll be able to move on and hopefully speak to CEO Nocturne and maybe enlist in his army, because I think that's probably the best way for us to advance in the mod, unless we are going to be doing some, maybe some arenas? I think some arenas are probably going to be on the agenda, but for the moment, we will probably just become a freelancer, and then whenever he appears in a town or something like that, we might try to do a couple of arenas or something like that. Let's just be a little bit careful here. I did not want to do that, but I'm very slow, as you can no doubt see. I'm very, very slow on my mount, so it is kind of to be expected that I would be eliminated at that point. Kind of a bit of a shame, to be honest, because I was actually at a decent enough HP to just continue onward afterwards, but now I'm going to have some difficulties actually joining battles if CEO Nocturne decides to go into many more battles after this one without giving me a chance to recuperate. But never mind, we do get to see all of the lasers that are currently being shot by these necrocore guys. And what are they actually riding right here? They're riding like bone, what is it? Bone maces, are they like witches brooms or something like that? I have no idea, but it's it's a crazy sight to behold. That is for sure. And he has, what is that? He has like some kind of energy rifle thing. Is that CEO Nocturne himself? It might be. Well, he seems pretty crazy anyway, but that's exactly what we like, isn't it? Especially with this mod. Especially with this mod. Okay, so let's continue onward, and oh, look at that, we're gaining some pretty decent relation with the Necrocore Syndicate already, and well, that's not too bad. Oh, look at this, I've already gained a helm. Thank you, very nice. Okay, so let's actually just take this opportunity to have a look at what we have here. Ah, okay, so this is a Fallen Legion Vampire Longsword, so I would assume you can get this somewhere else in the game, and otherwise we just have absolutely awful stuff. So I'm not surprised that I got eliminated that easily. I actually have a pretty decent amount of inventory management as well, so I suppose that's pretty good. Okay, so let's speak to this guy, and I would like to enlist in your army. Yes, there we go. Okay, so he gave us some food, which is pretty awesome, and I've now been given the equipment of a Necrocore slave. Oh, that's great. Okay, well, let's have a look and see what he actually decides to do then. I'm going to follow the commander into battle here. I don't have that much HP, and the doomsday clock has ticked 7 times. So, whoa, okay, my face has kind of disappeared a little bit. Yes, I guess that's because I'm now a Necrocore slave, and I don't really have the best weapons, actually, but I'm going to try and stop that cavalry from heading in to our, well, ranged lines, I suppose, and we'll see what we can do at eliminating their enemy range as well. So I'm going to try and get over there. Do I still have the same mount? I think I still have the same mount. This is absolutely awful. I'm going to get off this, and I'm going to see what I can do, because I have a huge amount of athletics. It's actually better for me to deal damage with this than it is for me to deal damage on the mount, to be honest. It's just absolutely awful being on a mount with this amount of athletics. I mean, look at how fast we're running. It's really crazy. Okay, did I eliminate that? I think I killed that. The text log has had enough, and it's just given up. It's like, this is too crazy for me. I'm out of here. Yes, it's completely gone. And yes, otherwise, oh, no, there we go, it's coming back. It's like, yes, I'm back, guys. Okay, so I did actually get a kill. Maybe this would be a good opportunity for me to level up, and I think, considering we're probably going to be enlisted for quite a bit of time, and maybe we'll gain a huge amount of renown along the way as well, it might make sense for me to just continue leveling up strength and everything. But then I was thinking to myself, well, maybe I'm going to need some pathfinding, and pathfinding in this mod is actually agility based instead of intelligence based, so it is much more likely that I will be able to get a good amount of pathfinding as a result. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for 21 in strength. Maybe we want to go for more in strength, actually. Let's just go for a full out strength build for this, and you know what, I think we might actually want to do some Iron Flesh. I really don't want to be honest, because I feel like Iron Flesh, I mean, it's only good when you get a huge amount of points in it, and that's the reason why I'm putting so many points in it at the moment, but I kind of wanted to go for some pathfinding. But as it is, now that I'm enlisted, I don't really need pathfinding. So I suppose what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to level up a couple more points in Power Strike and Iron Flesh, and that's what we'll do. I currently need some points in Weapon Master, so the next time I level up, I'm going to get a point in Weapon Master, and we'll see what we can do about that. And otherwise, I think this is a done deal, this battle. Well, we've traveled a long way to get here. It is very far from where we were previously, and I've just been watching. I've just been kind of sitting back and letting CEO Nocturne go his merry way, and it took him, I don't even know, about, 5-10 minutes in real time to actually get over here, and that says something, because obviously it's a massive map, and he is now wanting to tackle this faction, whoever they are. I actually don't know who they are, but oh, it seems like they're the cultists. Alright, we're going to be dealing with cultists today then, by the looks of things, and well, they're riding goats? That's an interesting mount choice, cultists. Well, let's see what we can do about eliminating them as much as possible. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure about using my mount, really. My mount is really not very good. I mean, you can kind of see that already. But I have leveled up to level 7, as you can see right there, and maybe we might be able to get an additional... Oh, there we go. We actually did get level 8, so that's nice too. There's level 9. Yeah, we're going to be getting a whole bunch of levels very early on because obviously I'm using a very, very nice sword, and us starting out with a decent enough strength rating is really making a huge difference to how effective we are in battle. And that's generally something that I don't usually do when playing Warband. And this doesn't really matter whether I'm playing this mod or some other mod. I usually go for an intelligence-heavy build just because I feel like me being able to at least survive a little bit better than maybe a medic companion might is something that I'm thinking about, obviously. But also because I'm not particularly good at fighting. Sometimes I'm okay, you know, and other times I'm not so good. So that's generally the reason why I might try not to go for more of a strength-based build. But this mod gives me basically no excuse whatsoever. I pretty much have to go for a strength build, at least with this spec and the amount of, you know, the choices that I made in the character creation. I mean, the choices I feel like you can do in this mod are basically endless. I think you could probably, I don't know, you could probably make, I wouldn't even hazard a guess, but you could probably make, I don't know, 100, 200 different combinations, maybe even more than that. I mean, it really depends, you know, you have so many different build orders as well. You can literally go for heavy agility build, very fast, you know, using assassin daggers or something along those lines. You can make a long range energy blunderbuss user thing. I don't even know, it's just crazy. Now, the cool thing about being in an enlisted party here is that I'm able to then take all the loot. Yes, take all the loot, and then I can sell it for whatever I'd like. And that is really great. So I'm going to be taking as much as I can here. Bear in mind that this armor right now that I have here is looted from a previous battle that we had. And the shield was actually given to me. I've been promoted, by the way, so I'm now a Necrocore zombie instead of a Necrocore slave. And I'm technically supposed to be wearing this, but it is much worse than what I currently have. And what I currently picked up, so I was just thinking to myself, yeah, we're just gonna wear the better thing, because that kind of makes the most sense. Anyway, CEO Nocturne's gonna be fighting these village farmers. I don't really care to show this, really. I feel like it's a bit of a waste. So, hopefully, he's going to besiege the town that we are very, very close to, and then we'll be able to participate. Right, well, we have a bit of a situation on our hands, shall we say, and that is Necrolordus Morals party against the Fantasy Magiocracy Patrol. Yes, great. Anyway, we have 650 against the enemy's 946. You can see here that there's only one option, and that is to charge against the enemy. We have a battle advantage of -1, actually. It's not even that bad. I actually thought it was going to be a lot worse than it actually is, and we'll see how we do here. I mean, obviously I have a mount, but this mount is partially a bit of a thorn in my side, really, because even though I'm able to move around on it and potentially do okay in terms of my mobility, it's not exactly great when it gets killed. Like now, for example, it just took 81 damage. I'm literally just going to get off, and I think I can probably move around, well, almost as fast. There we go. We're actually dealing some really nice damage now. I have 10 in Power Strike. So bear that in mind. Oh yeah, so this is the fantasy, isn't this the fantasy faction? So they have orcs and elves and all kinds of things in their armies, which is really fun to see, actually. Considering we are vampires and undead units and all kinds of things, it's really, really fun to see these units fighting against us. Fantasy sorcerer. And yeah, so if you want to, you can do a whole weird... Oh, never mind, I actually died. Wow, we really died? We got 92 damage taken from that Fantasy Noble Warden. Oh well, never mind. Okay, well, I did my best. We did take quite a bit of damage there, but we got a good amount of experience as well. As you can see right here, I'm just going to show you my current stats because you haven't seen them for a while. We have 28 in strength, and I think I'm going to go and get 30 because we have 85 HP now. I was actually hoping that the more HP I was able to get, the less I was going to die, but it seems like it didn't really work out that way. And let's see if I can maybe just learn more Iron Flesh. That's the maximum I can get out of it, by the way. So now we probably want to go for one more point in athletics, I guess, and then we'll just start leveling up agility a little bit as well. Now, I do have a pole arm, but I haven't really used it that much because, well, as you've seen, I've just been eliminated pretty quickly. And I guess we'll just have to wait and see what actually happens here. But I think we probably have the advantage because the Necro Corps seems pretty strong in their units. They seem to have some really awesome ways of eliminating enemies. I mean, you can already see here that they're using some form of SMG, and they're also using an assault rifle. This guy looks very cool because he's got his sunglasses on, and he's telling people exactly what he thinks of them over his headset. Alright, well, we're still embroiled in a battle with the fantasy forces right here, and I'm not entirely sure how this is going to go. It seems as though the Necro Corps is taking out about the same amounts of units that they're losing, which is actually really bad, because if we continue to take them out at the same ratio, we're going to eventually end up losing. Now, I haven't really been able to get too many kills here, mainly because most of the enemies are running extremely... Look at how fast this guy is. Yeah, very, very fast. They usually end up getting killed by our forces, but for the most part, I was lucky enough that our CEO, he decided to run away for a little bit, and that gave me the opportunity to restore my HP. I don't exactly know why he did that, but then he came back, and they decided to begin fighting again. But I think this is a different army to the one that we were fighting previously, but they are the same faction, so nothing really to worry about that. And maybe I'll be able to get a couple of kills. I have to really get used to using this vampire sword. It's actually really kind of difficult to handle because it's just such a huge reach to it that is very unwieldy, suffice it to say. Anyway, let's see if I can... Yeah, there we go. Take that. You can't ride our necro transporters. Give me that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is... Okay, yeah. I probably shouldn't be on this, let's face it. I really don't have a very good riding skill, and it seems extremely difficult to ride. I think you definitely are going to need a pretty high riding skill to make good use of this, personally. And maybe it was just injured, I don't know. I mean, we've got to just think about it in terms of... It's probably a horse of some kind, and it's just been modeled to look like that. But yeah, hopefully... I would think that it would just run exactly the same as if a horse was injured, so that's probably the case. Anyway, no, yeah, okay, never mind. Yeah, taking 120 damage from a fantasy heavy warg champion. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so I guess this fight's actually going to go on for a bit of time. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'll just end this episode off here. If you would like to watch more of this mini-series of Paradigm Worlds, then by all means let me know. And otherwise, if you want to actually play the mod yourself, then you can. There is a link in the description. And I thank you very much for watching. And I will see you next time.